Today we're going to be looking at a SP Sabers Watto's Junkyard Mr. Tyranus Gen 2. This is installed with CFX, NeoPixel, the static battery, and a 22mm speaker. And it does have a Goth chassis where everything is kind of like with its separate steel cage here on the pommel. So let's go ahead and go over that. Now, I have not glued in the cover tech knob yet, so I will need my screwdriver for that. But before I send it out to the client, I will do that. So this is all basically going to be one piece that you can essentially just use as a thumb screw. And I also did go through the steps that Sean did in his video to not make these grips as pronounced by kind of cutting off a bit of the side on each one. As you can see, right here, it still looks a little bit pronounced, but all around here, it looked a lot, like it would sit up a lot more, not as flushed as it is now. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. I didn't really have to touch on the top or bottom sides here. These were already pretty good as they were. Once I was able to adhere those down, but that's pretty much all the work I did there. Now, there is no accent pixels on the pommel. I'll go over that in a minute as to why. But let's go ahead and remove the cover tech knob and take a look at the chassis. Now, like I had mentioned before, this is CFX. So it was a pretty cramful build. To get to the chassis, all you have to do is grip it just here and firmly pull out. Let's go ahead and put this down carefully. Now, this is a fingerprint magnet. You will see me wipe this down like I always do. Go ahead and refocus that. Okay, so here's your CFX board. You got the pins there. Oh, let's see here. Okay, you got, geez. You got your pins here, easy access to your SD card right there. You got your kill switch, and I actually put a very small pixel underneath this instead of the red LED, just so that it can change color with the blade also. I mean, it is wired to LS2, so you can just have it set to red if you really want to. But I did opt out of the 3mm LED just to kind of save space and not have to put the resistor or anything behind the CFX board. Now, as to why there's not any LEDs down here, there was enough space and everything for wiring. What had actually happened is that we had wired in a 22mm KR Saber speaker, but the client, by the time the client had realized it, he had reached out to me and asked me if it was too late to put a 22mm speaker from Smuggler's Outpost. And, I went ahead and told him that it's fine. He can go ahead and send it. And I'll replace it for him. And I had glued the speaker holder in with E6000. Little did I know that no matter how much heat I applied onto that sucker, that would stay on there. So I unfortunately had to kind of like cut it very slowly, very carefully, piece by piece, and just kind of take it out one piece at a time. So we had to replace that piece and put a 22mm speaker from Smuggler's Outpost in there. And those do run a little bit wider because of the contacts of the speaker. So since I just went ahead and made something real quick, we just opted out of not having the LEDs. He mentioned it wasn't even something that he really minded. He just wanted the speaker. But now it's in there and it sounds great. So let's go over let's go ahead and turn on the hilt. Actually, before I do that, inside you will see maybe the pins. The battery is also in here. It is a one switch setup with the NeoPixel connectors up here. Let's actually remove the blade plug as well, since we're going to have to. Bear with me here 1 second. I'm trying to do this off screen. Here we go. All right, so remove the blade plug, put that here to the side. In there you can see your NeoPixel connectors. Now let's go ahead and turn this guy on. So to turn it on, all you have to do is line up this rib, I guess you can call it, with this notch right here, and plant your feet, put your whole back into it, and slam it as hard as you can. Now, of course, you're not gonna do that. You're just gonna you're just gonna smack it in there gently with, or not just firmly with the palm of your hand. You know, just smack it in, so that it can kind of click into the female pins. Before you do that, you do have to flip this up. So let's go ahead and do that now. And there you go. Let me actually switch to the Dooku font because I was testing this out earlier.
Sound bank selection.
This is General.
Audio.
Exit menu.
My son's Count Dooku.
All right.
Skywalker.
And now we just put our cover tech knob back. Go ahead and do that. All right, and now it's all put together. So turning it on, like I mentioned, it is a one button setup. The board being down here really makes it easy so that you don't really have to move that much to like initiate the smooth swing sound effects, which is really great. And like I had mentioned, this is like for CFX, this is really crammed. Just because CFX is a wider board in general. But the build itself, it was really straightforward, really simple. Just as long as you have your wire management down, you're not gonna have any issues with this install. It's incredibly easy to do. So there you see that. Let me go ahead and put a blade in this. Put this down. This does take a 1 inch or a 7/8 inch blade. There we go. And let me just secure that with my, or with the hex key that comes with it. There we go. And right here you can see the LED indicator showing that it is on. It's a really beautiful hilt. This is honestly my favorite hilt. So just having the chance to install one of these is great. It is really great design overall. Amazing chassis solution from Goth. You know, you don't expect anything less from him. And it like I mentioned, it was a super easy install. I hear a lot of things about Dooku's being really hard to install and things like that. But not this one, or not this chassis. This chassis was extremely simple, very straightforward. Nothing but respect. So let's go ahead and go over some of the things here. Smack it a little bit. And let's go ahead and switch to the next font. Alright, before I do that, oh, there you can hear the batteries low. I'll actually show it, and that's perfect because I can show you guys how to charge it in a minute. Let me wipe this down a bit. Alright, and we'll put this down, give you guys a little bit of an aesthetic. Make you feel like the flyest Sith Lord ever. Look at that. That just looks awesome. Man, honestly, Dooku was underrated. Give you guys that aesthetic. Let's flip it to the other side. Give you the other view here. Nice. That's beautiful. Man. Props to Dooku, man. Making the flyest freaking hilt ever. Alright, so Let's switch to the next font.
Sound bank selection.
I sense General Kenobi.
Another happy landing.
Cell. Energy critical.
Now, blue, you won't be able to see it as well through here, but you can see that it's lit up. Like I mentioned, if really wanted, you can always switch this to be red as well, since it is wired to LS2. But that looks really good. Go ahead and turn it off.
Sound bank selection.
General Kenobi. You're not with me.
Cell. Energy critical.
Sound bank selection.
Someday I will be the most. Someday I will be the most powerful Jedi ever.
Cell. Energy critical.
Oh, this actually looks awesome. Sorry guys, I haven't spoken. I've just been really enamored with this. This looks great. Honestly, like, this is great. Love that. Bassy swings. It's beautiful. And we'll just go over two more fonts, because after that it's just the basic CFX sound font package.
Cell. Energy critical.
And these are mainly here just to show the color of a different blade. Give me a second, put this down without having to smack my blade against the table. Man, honestly, like, what a cool looking hilt. I'm just geeking over this, guys. I just really love this hilt. So classy. And lastly, let's the next sound font, which is Battle 2.
Sound bank selection.
Cell. Energy critical.
And there's your last sound font. Now this sounds really good. Like, this sounds really good. I don't even have the speaker like at max volume, but man, it sounds really nice and clear. And this hum is crazy. I actually really like this hum. Alright, now I'll go back to Dooku.
Sound bank selection. Youngling.
This is General.
Audio.
SD system exit.
I sense Count Dooku. I've been looking forward to this.
Oh yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it as far as the hilt itself. Like I mentioned, it is a one button setup.
Cell. Critical.
18650 battery. What else is there to mention about this hilt? I mean, there's not much to mention. It's got the LED here. So let's go ahead and show you just how to charge it, because it is in hilt and there is no recharge port on here. There is an external recharge port that we have to build for this. So let me go ahead and show you how to charge the battery. Let me remove the cover tech knob. And then put that to the side here. And now I will unscrew the blade. Now this is really snug in here. You don't really ever have to worry about this flying out if you don't have the cover tech knob on there. But of course, you know, don't go testing that either. You still want to be careful with it and not be swinging it hard or anything. Okay. And we'll put your blade plug back in. Your blade plug has a notch on here that will go over the claw. You just put that down and it slides in. And we'll lock that back into place. There we go. All right. So now again, to remove the chassis and to turn it off, all you gotta do is grip it, pull nice and firmly, and flip the kill switch down. So that's pretty much what you do with that. We'll put this here to the side for now. And let me show you the recharge port. Okay, so the recharge port is this external little guy right here. Basically, these two pins will go into the hilt and charge it like so. So give me 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. So these two pins with this flat side facing downward, you'll just insert it. And there you'll feel it kind of just go into the pins. And once it's here, all you do is get a charger, a recharge port. Let me see if I have one laying around. I haven't used a recharge port in quite a while. Okay, so I do. And I'll actually charge this, of course, before sending it out. That way you can have your hilt fully charged. So you'll get one of these and just plug it in to the opposing end and let it sit there while it charges. So it's a pretty clever solution as well from Goth. I gotta say, like, that is genius. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope y'all like this install. Let me go ahead and put everything back before I finish the video. And let's see here. And after doing one of these myself, I'm definitely gonna get one of these just because it was an extremely easy install, to be honest. I was gonna screw that on with the hex key. Yeah, it was an extremely easy install. Definitely super fun and a beautiful hilt. Props to SP Sabers and Watto's Junkyard as well. So I'll go ahead and put this down. And again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.